What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Another daily quickie for you guys. My name is JJT, and with Komish, it's a slow day in the NBA with just 3 games on the slate, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, there were boring games. I mean, a few were kind of lopsided. Am I correct? Because I just saw the scores. And
the Philly Utah was lopsided. Memphis LA was a good one before Memphis won in the end, but that was probably the best game. Yeah. I mean, nobody cares about San Antonio anyways, so I don't care who they play.
But they won.
Yeah, they won. They've been playing better, so there.
So yeah, it's not so much news today, other than maybe some COVID news. Dillon Brooks, the next player casualty of COVID, and then of course Ja Morant, although that's kind of irrelevant at this point. In fact, it's a good news for Ja Morant owners that he got COVID early, and during his injury. Within the injury period, right? I mean, you'd rather have that than him coming back and then getting COVID, right?
I was gonna write that. That's why I was laughing. I was gonna write that, but I felt that people might react to say that it's good for him to get COVID now. But actually, that's true.
I mean, from the fantasy perspective, of course, we don't wish anyone getting COVID. But again, from the fantasy perspective, I'm pretty sure managers would be relieved, that it's the timing of his COVID is within the injury period wherein he is recovering, right?
That's true.
And Dillon Brooks is on COVID protocol, so that means more DeAnthony Melton probably. I mean, we all know we probably can already predict the implications of Dillon Brooks being out, because he was out early in the season. DeAnthony Melton, Bane would probably be the biggest beneficiary here.
Yeah, probably Melton, because Bane has been playing well even with Dillon Brooks there. He's been one of their top scorers. So the guy that probably would be, really affected by this is Melton. He will start like he did today, and he got 30 minutes, and we know what Melton can do with 30 minutes. So we don't have to talk much about that. You guys all know it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And maybe some low end Kyle Anderson might, get some. Is he back? I think he's back, right?
He's back. He played a while ago. Yeah. So Kyle Anderson is another player who would, with Melton out of the bench, Kyle Anderson, because Brandon Clark is also injured.
Yeah.
So their bench is kind of becoming weak with Tyus Jones now starting. So it's going to be young players like Zaire Williams or maybe Xavier Tillman, these guys, John Conchar, players who are not really that, depend, although Conchar had a great game today. But Kyle Anderson will be probably the leader of that bench crew. So I think he'll get minutes. And there, I think Kyle Anderson.
And there would be a lot of usage to spread around. As we all know, I mean, I think Dillon Brooks and Ja Morant are 2 of the most used players. Has the highest usage in Memphis. I would.
Dillon Brooks is number 1. Ja is number 2.
Yeah, so I mean, early in the season when Dillon Brooks was out, at least Ja was playing, so at least that usage was spread among other players, but Ja would probably be the one benefiting from that. But now both of them are out, so yeah, more usage to spread around, and this means it could bode well fantasy wise for Melton, Bane, Jaren Jackson,
and Memphis is winning. They're 6-1 without Ja Morant, and they're beating good teams. They beat the Lakers today, and they haven't trailed surprisingly for 20 straight quarters. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, 20 quarters straight, not trailing. So they're really playing good basketball. And I think Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson, as I said, both of these guys have been the key to the and Tyus Jones. Since we're talking about Memphis, I think Tyus Jones he's been good. I mean, I didn't expect him to be this consistent, but he has been good with the assists and the steals.
Yeah.
So even in 12-team leagues, I think could be a short-term ad while Ja is out.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, the coaching has been good. I mean, the Memphis coach, I think, is a little bit underrated because no one really knows who their coach is. But he's been good since taking over Memphis. I mean, no one
Yes.
really expected Memphis to compete in the past couple of years, right? Because they're a young team and their leader is, a rookie or maybe very young. So no one really expected that, but they've been competing every year since
Yes, and
Taylor Jenkins came in.
the the team doesn't have a good defensive rating, but they compete.
Yeah,
Their offense has been okay, and the roles are defined, and the roster is well well put together. I would just put it that way.
yeah,
So everybody has their roles, and nobody oversteps with the other. So I mean, the only possible problem you have there is Melton. I mean, we want him to play more,
yeah.
but that's just us. It's fantasy. Understand,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
exactly.
it looks like, as long as they're gonna be healthy, he's gonna be coming off the bench and playing inconsistent minutes. He is probably the how do you call it? The guard version of Chris Boucher.
Yes, yes. Guard version, but better. He's a good player.
Yeah,
I mean,
better,
he's a
better.
good player.
But still, you know, when everyone's healthy, sometimes you just scratch your head thinking, why does he get this limited minutes, right?
Yeah.
That's always been, the frustration of a lot of fantasy managers who are in love with the Anthony Melton scheme. All right. Rashawn Holmes is also out for a few games after that. What's the injury? Is it in the head, eyebrow, or
In the face. I mean, he was
cut?
bleeding. I think it was a cut.
Yeah.
That's why I thought maybe when you see cuts like that, it looks bad. But when you put stitches and everything, usually the player sometimes comes back or plays the next game. But I remembered the eye issue that he had. I think he got scratched in the eye,
Mhm.
and now they said he had surgery or something to repair the eye problem. Maybe the bleeding was probably near the eye. I don't know. I don't know, but that's the only reason I could think of why he's going to be out for at least 2 games and maybe more for another eye thing. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's
And
a weird injury.
after a great start by Holmes, now it seems like
Yes.
managers are going to be really frustrated with him. One thing I hope, I don't have a lot of Holmes, but I think I have just one. But yeah, I need him again. Yes, my team there is really injured and very depleted. It's in our dynasty league, so yeah, I need Rashawn Holmes there. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see. Myles Turner not
Mhm.
happy after
After how
so
many
the
years?
something some yeah after how many years, and something, and just the timing of this right after, Indiana said they're gonna be rebuilding, right? Um, he says he's not really happy, or at least a news comes out that he's not really happy, um, and he is not being featured as much in
Which is
Indiana.
accurate. Which is accurate. I guess if you look at it,
Well, the
he,
question is, should he be featured?
I think he wants. Uh, I don't I don't see it as a mistake with Indiana. I just see it as someone who wants more than what he really is suited for. I
Mhm.
mean, he can take threes, he can make threes, and then he can block shots. That's basically like Brook Lopez. right? I mean, Brook Lopez will not say that, I need more, I want more, because he knows his role. He knows that Giannis is there, he knows Middleton, he knows Drew. And I
Yeah.
guess Miles is younger. Miles is way younger. So he doesn't see himself just as that, as a complementary piece. He says he's an all-star. So I think that's the difference. Well, Brook, I think, if that was Brook an all-star when he was younger? I'm not sure.
I am pretty sure he was at one point
Maybe some.
because he
So
was
maybe,
good with the Nets. I mean,
yeah, I think maybe a year. I'm not sure.
yeah,
But maybe that's what Miles wants, and if he wants that, the only way he can get that is Sabonis and him have to separate. It's right. That's the thing. I mean, the rebounds, Sabonis is getting it. The points, the assists, those things that Miles wants, the usage basically
yeah,
has to happen with Sabonis out or separate from him. And since Indiana came out with a report already, I'm pretty sure Miles would be the one to go because he's the easy one to trade. He's the easy one to trade. The contract, the kind of game he has is perfect for the new age basketball.
yeah.
So he's gonna be in demand. He's probably gonna fetch a lot of draft picks or whatever. So that's why I put this here. It's a rumor, but I think you could buy low on Myles Turner. Maybe some people might see it as a risk, but for me, I could see it as if he gets traded, I think he can have better stats.
Yeah.
I think.
I see. I guess the ceiling of Myles Turner, other than of course him having elite blocks, maybe it's closer to a Jaren Jackson type of player.
Yes, correct.
He can
That
shoot
is
threes. He can block. The only difference is Jaren Jackson is featured a lot than Myles Turner
actually Miles is actually ranked higher than Jaren Jackson
because of
Jr. in
the elite
fantasy.
blocks, right? I mean,
Yes, because of the
we
eight
all
block.
know
So
the you know I don't know if it's that Myles Turner ranking high is a little bit of a flaw in terms of the how you rank players because he pretty much gives you elite blocks. The threes are inconsistent. There's really no consistency there. He can't rebound for a center. So I think, we all know why he's up there because the blocks are really good.
yes, the blocks are good. But in fairness to him, he's a better rebounder than Jaren Jackson Jr. for sure. He's at least at 8 or 9. Jaren Jackson is at 5.
Mhm.
So there's a difference there. But scoring wise, of course, JJJ. I think that's where it is. If Myles Turner goes to another team, scoring goes up. He gets more attempts.
Yeah.
Then we can say legitimately he might be a top 25 player. Might be a top 25 player.
Yeah. So yeah, well, again, Indiana would be interesting because so far this is the one team that's already somehow declared that they're rebuilding
Open for business. Yes.
in the middle of the season. So I'm pretty sure there will be some moves here. I don't think this Indiana roster would stick until the end
I
of the
asked
season.
a question in our page. I'll get your answer. I made it a fantasy trade. I mean, if this happened in fantasy, would you veto it? It's Sabonis and Miles for Anthony Davis. Is that a vetoable trade for you, or is that something you see as good trade? And which side are you there?
Uh that's a good one. I'll probably take the Miles side and Sabonis
Sabonis
side.
and Miles. Okay,
Yeah.
but is that vetoable?
Vetoable? No, I don't think it's vetoable. Although, of course, I just feel like the Miles side is um yeah, that side is a little better. Not a little, a lot better, but not really too lopsided in the sense that if you're looking at maybe there are different ways to look at trades as I've learned this
Mm-hmm.
year. One is maybe their current value and Anthony Davis is top 10. And there's a
Yes.
premium in getting a player of that, level, right?
Yes.
We've already talked about getting players in the top 5. You should at least have one first rounder and a +1.
Yes.
right? So now Anthony Davis is a first rounder, but you're not getting really a first rounder. You're getting a second rounder and maybe a fourth rounder or a third rounder, right? So I think that's okay. Um, yeah, but yeah, I'll go with the Sabonis side. Just
I
because,
agree.
the counting stats wise, I think would be better overall, especially if you need depth. Plus, we all know Anthony Davis, right? Injuries, and there's always, you can't sleep well at night every every game, right? So every fall, you hold your breath with when it comes
Yes.
to Anthony Davis. So yeah, I'll take the Sabonis side there.
Me
Uh,
too. Me too.
let's talk about some worry players. We talked about Drummond. Russell Westbrook is in the worry players of Commish.
It was the jackpot of Westbrook, just jackpot Westbrook game today. 6 turnovers, 1 of 4 free throws. I don't know how, a 3 of 9 field goal. So
Yeah,
it was a perfect storm of a game for Westbrook. But before today, he was good. He's been very good. But that's what you get if it's only 3 games. You play that way, you're gonna get into the worry players list.
yeah,
But I don't think it's something to really worry about. For me, Westbrook, as long as it's in the right build, it's still okay. Still
yeah.
okay.
Still good. I mean, still good. I think the Lakers are slowly getting it, slowly, and I guess there's this question about Anthony Davis as well,
Yeah.
not doing as well as managers would
Mm-hmm.
want. He started off really well, right? He started off really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he has slowly tapered off since LeBron came back. And maybe this could be, my fear is this could be the real Anthony Davis for the rest of the season.
Well, hopefully not, but yes, it's possible, and that's why, as we were talking a while ago before we were on air recording, that people are asking for him to wake up. Come on, take charge. And I say this just because I think, as I said, he has all the tools to be the mismatch. He's the mismatch in LA.
Yep.
So, and he's the top, as you said, a top 10 player in fantasy. But if he just takes the ball and just get all of you out of the way, I'm gonna carry you home. He's gonna be a top 3, top 2 guy. I mean, he could challenge Curry and Jokic.
Well,
Remember those days? Remember those days? I mean, I
yes,
don't know what
true.
happened.
But here's the thing about the Lakers. They're trying to gel as a team. It's a new team. They're trying to coexist as a team. He won't do that because there are two more players who can take over. I know he's the mismatch, but playing within a system, maybe trying to play within a system.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what That's why Davis's game has tapered off a bit. Um, uh, I think the only good thing about Davis is that he's, unlike last year. This year he gets those steals and blocks at least,
Yes, yes.
right? I mean,
And
it's back to the 2 years ago Anthony Davis levels. It's just that the scoring, the rebounding isn't there.
the other day he had 17 and 16, so that was a good rebounding game, a bad scoring game. He hasn't had really the one game where you can say 32 points, let's say 16
Yeah,
rebounds,
I
something
don't
like
think
that.
he'll get a lot of those this year.
Sabonis has already gotten those numbers lately. And I think Anthony Davis, yes, LeBron, Westbrook eats into his usage, but again, it's up to Frank Vogel. If he really decides that, come on, LeBron, you have to give it to AD. AD has to be the focal point. Because as you said, it's a system. And their system is basically LeBron. You still watch it right now, it's still LeBron. And then, AD would probably either give a pick or
Yeah,
wait on one side and get a jump shot or a mid-range shot, and that is one thing that's been hurting his fantasy value, his field goal percentage, because he's been terrible with those outside shots that he's been taking.
yeah.
That is infuriating for fantasy managers. We just need him to be the top 2, top 3 AD. How old is he? I mean,
28,
20,
29.
Probably something like that.
I don't think he's 30 yet, but he is close there. I think he's in the
he should
high
be in his
20s.
prime. Should be in his prime.
Should be.
And he hurt himself again today, by the way. His hand. And the end of the third quarter, he hurt his hand. He did come back, but it was a blowout at the end, so he rested again. So we'll see him again in the injury report for sure. He's gonna be questionable or probable or whatever again the next game because of the
Well,
hand.
the more usage though, the more chances of getting hurt. So what would you rather want?
Okay, no more usage. No more usage. Just play. Just play.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's Anthony Davis for you. The more usage, the more chances of getting hurt.
That's true.
So
That's
what would you rather have? Getting more usage or just doing enough to help your team win?
I guess
Fantasy
okay.
wise.
Just do enough. That would be fine. That would be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, there Anthony Davis. I just feel like, this is it, Anthony Davis, because of the addition of Westbrook and LeBron playing. But yeah, just hold on. Or maybe hard to trade Davis now because he's been playing bad. So
he's not been playing bad. It's
no,
hard to trade him.
he's not he no, I mean he's not playing the way he used to play early in the season.
Lately, yeah, maybe, but I feel like it's hard to trade him because who would you trade him for? That's the question. I mean, unless you're gonna go with the trade I mentioned a while ago, the Sabonis, that kind of a trade where you get inferior players. If you want someone better or someone at his level, there's no one. You can't get Curry, Jokic, or even KD for Anthony Davis. I don't think so, and I don't think you would want Embiid. I'm not sure if you would want Embiid
Trey?
or Paul George or Butler for AD. You'd rather have AD. Even Trey, I think I'd rather have AD than Trey. He's still a better fantasy player overall. So there's just no good, clean trade, I guess, that you can say is either a buy low, a sell high, or a good trade. I just don't see any good trades for AD, one-on-one at least.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
All right, so that's the AD Westbrook front. A few buy players, Devin Vassell, who was dropped in some leagues because he was injured. He was out for a while, right?
Yes. I think you should pick him up.
Yeah, you should pick him up. He was within top 80.
I put top 100 just to be safe.
Yeah, he was sure. For sure he was top 100, but I think he peaked at around 70. I think 70 something.
Yeah.
So yes, still should be. I think he was just injured, so he should still be someone to consider. We talked about Kyle Anderson a while ago. Why he should be picked up or at least considered when you stream maybe or pick players. And Facundo Campazzo for deeper leagues, right?
Yes, it's Facundo Campazzo for deeper leagues. Just looking at Denver, what's happening with the team? Bones, 2 out of 10, still not in his element. 15 minutes, so Facundo is still the guy so far, and Austin Rivers is still out. So as of now, Campazzo for deeper leagues.
All right. Now I have a question. So I made some moves a while ago in not trades but some streaming moves. Well, not really streaming, but something ad drop moves. So I saw Garrison Matthews in
Gary Bird
in the free agent pool, and another guy. Who was the other guy? Another hot free agent. Another hot player we talked about yesterday. I couldn't remember. I think not Terrence Davis. Who's the other guy? Anyway, so
quickly.
No. Let me see if he's still there. But yeah, and here's what I did. I dropped Matisse, Tybor, but I also had Halliburton in my IL plus, so I moved him up, and then I dropped Marcus Morris for Garrison Matthews. Did I make the right move?
Basically, it's dropping Marcus Morris for Garrison Matthews, right? Then, as I said, until Jalen Green comes back, I'll pick up Garrison Matthews even in 12-team league. So I like the move. I like the move. And Marcus Morris is a little up and down. So I would prefer Garrison Matthews, I think, for the long term, at least the longer short term. I mean, for the next 3 weeks, at least 2 to 3 weeks, I think Garrison Matthews is the right call there.
The other guy is Herb Jones, but I just picked Garrison Matthews because they had the back-to-back tomorrow and Sunday. So so I think hopefully that works out because I'm against the number one team in the league this week. And that number one team is 6.5 games ahead of the second team, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot for
that's
early this season.
Cruise control situations right there.
Yeah, so hopefully I get to squeeze in a 5-4 win, and I have a chance. I have a little slim chance, at least from how it looks so far.
With the Clippers, with Marcus Morris, I would say you made the wrong move if Paul George suddenly will be out for a long time. Because if Paul George will be out a long time, I mean, there's nobody there who will score. Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris will be their 1-2 punch. And if that happens, then I would like Marcus Morris more. But we have no updates on Paul George yet. So I'm assuming he's good. I'm assuming he's okay. So let's see.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Hopefully before that happens, and also the Clippers have one game this week. So in case that didn't work, I might still have the chance of getting Marcus Morris later on or later this week or before the weekends. All right. So just quickly, feel good player. Who do we want to pick? Jakob Poeltl.
Jakob, yeah. One of our
so we've talked about centers.
Yeah.
In the past few quickies, Isaiah Stewart's, the Robert Williams. Jakob is within that group, right? Jakob Poeltl is within that group.
Yeah. In the draft, during the draft, he was outside of that group, I think.
Yeah, he was the last guy, last center, last best center, I guess. Last,
they were
fantasy relevant center.
People were not including him in that fantasy relevant centers. They were ending it with Isaiah Stewart. And then Jakob, Horford, Wendell Carter, Bamba.
Yeah.
These guys were the ones that were
Bamba was way out. I mean,
yes, but these guys are the guys that people felt at that time was, not at the level of those guys. But if you look at it, Wendell Carter, Bamba, Poeltl, and Horford. I mean, Poeltl is not doing that well, but Horford, they've been playing above the centers who were picked ahead of them. So you can not really, you can really not say what can happen. Poeltl, one of our followers did say that he feels that Poeltl is a top 50 guy. I say maybe not, in my opinion, maybe not top 50. I do agree that the 32% free throw shooting is misleading because it's 3 attempts a game, 3.2. Yeah. But if they have 4 games a week or 3 games, or this week they have 5 games, that will hurt also. That will hurt. Yep. That will become 5 out of 15, right? Or 3 out of 12. Those are also numbers that can lose you your free throw. So that still factors in. I think that still factors in with Poeltl.
So far, Poeltl has been averaging 12 points a game, and 9.3 rebounds. Actually, his numbers have really gone up.
Yeah.
Every
look at the
year.
Assist.
Every
look
year.
at
the assist is 2.6.
But lately, look at the assist lately.
Wait, I don't have the assist lately.
He has around 6, I think, a game. Today he had 7.
Today he had 7.
Yeah, he had 7 today, and so those are good. Those are good numbers. And even if he had only 9 points today, I'm fine with it. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks. Those are good numbers.
What you want from Poeltl are not really the scoring, but more of the rebounding, the blocks, right? So getting 7 assists is a big bonus for you.
A big bonus.
Yeah, a big bonus. The 9 points is maybe he's just within that, average in his career, maybe, or at least that's what he can do, really. But if he gets 15, 16, 17 points, that's a bonus as well.
You know what's impressive about that? He got into foul trouble, 3 fouls in the first half. So he almost did not play. I only played 6, 7, or 8 minutes in the first half. So those numbers are even in foul trouble numbers. He was against Jokic, remember, today.
Yeah.
So those are good. Those are good numbers. That's why I put him in our feel good. We haven't talked about him as much, but I think Isaiah Stewart, Robert Williams, Jakob Poeltl, focus your attention on these guys when you are looking for bigs. Al Horford, maybe. These guys, don't try too much on the Allens, the Capellas. Those are, Jaren Jackson. Those are the guys that may be too expensive for your taste. These guys are good alternatives.
Yeah.
The guys that we mentioned.
Again, another player who's probably part of the not sexy list, right? But effective.
Effective.
Right. I mean, the reason why Isaiah Stewart and Robert Williams gets all the hype is because they're athletic.
Yeah.
They're your typical guy that he jumps high. He's big, he's athletic, he's fast for his size. Poeltl is none of those things. But he is effective. He is effective at what he does.
Just say it. Just say what you want to say. He's a white guy who looks who
doesn't look like the guy who knows how to play, right?
Yes.
When you're looking at when you're playing pickup games, he's tall. That's why, we'll pick him because he's tall, but he's probably going to be your last pick.
Because if you're not a skilled guy, you should be a guy like Robert Williams or Capella. The guys who are athletic. But you're not skilled. You don't have skill. So all you do is they throw the ball up and you just get it and dunk. Or you out jump everybody for a rebound, or you block them.
Yeah, use your physical tools.
And Poeltl is not skilled. I mean, he's not that skilled. He can't shoot the basketball. But obviously he's skilled because he can pass and he can do other things. But he doesn't look as skilled because he can't shoot. And he is not athletic because he doesn't jump that high.
Yeah.
So people are saying, where will I put you? Will I put you Pau Gasol, or will I put you? You're not Shaq, you're not Pau, you're not the Capella. So where are you? It's kind of confusing, but his timing is very good. He's a great shot blocker, a very underrated one at that.
And he doesn't wow you with big numbers, like
Yes.
Robert Williams and Isaiah Stewart would have probably 15 rebounds in one game, right? And that would wow, that's a lot of rebounds for one game, right? Jakob Poeltl would probably not do that as often, but he is good at what he does, and he is a very effective player. And you know what you're gonna get, right?
Yes.
Rebounding and blocks, and that's it. The expectations, I guess, are lower with Jakob Poeltl, and that's why he makes his managers happy every time because the expectations weren't as high.
And I just want to comment that San Antonio is probably one of the best bad teams in NBA. In the NBA, their record is probably third or fourth worst, but they compete every game.
Yeah,
and they lose, but they lose at the last few minutes just because I guess they don't have closers, they don't have stars. So they're good. They're not a bad team. And shout out to Derrick White. I didn't put him anymore in our feel good because I've been putting him the past two games, I think. But he has continued to be good.
Derrick White is sell high.
Yes, for sure. I'm not saying you should sell though. He's not a sell high that's like a Tyrese Maxey or Montrezl Harrell before that we're saying sell high. Derrick White is a sell high kind of guy that if you can find the right deal, sell. But if you cannot, it's okay. I think.
Which player would you?
Well, the way he's playing right now, he should go for a top 50 player, right? Maybe. But before, when Drew was still struggling, maybe that would have worked. But now Drew is not struggling anymore, so I don't think that works. If you want to be really, really bold, a guy like Jalen or OG, for me, go for it. That's the perfect deal. You want to gamble on something, Offer
actually,
Derrick White for Jaylen
gambling,
Brown.
if you want to gamble on certain players, just for the right price, OG and Jalen could be,
Yes.
players to target.
You can get him. You can get him for
I mean,
sure.
I'd
For
rather
sure.
gamble on Jalen and OG than gamble on Zion.
Yeah. For sure.
Right? I mean, a lot of managers are kind of gambling on Zion, but to be honest, I really stay away. We talked about Zion for a lot of times already, but I'd rather gamble on OG and Jalen. So look for those. And you'll probably see, how their own managers value these players. I think when the news broke out that OG there was a
Foreseeable
setback,
future.
right? Yeah. I think that was a good timing already to try and trade for him.
You can still trade for him anytime you want. You can even wait for a couple more weeks or maybe one more week before you offer that, and the manager will still accept that. I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown is in the same boat. But if you look at it long term, if your team is number 1, number 2, and you're looking at it week 15, week 16, week 17, will I look at it as Jaylen is still struggling with his hamstring? I don't think so. I think Jaylen should be fine by then. And he's the better player than Derrick White. So you're looking long term, you're looking big picture. So those two are the players I feel like you could bet on. But also timing is key. If you offer Derrick White before Tyrese Halliburton suddenly got hot, I think Tyrese would have been a great target also. And Lonzo Ball also. But of course, now that Tyrese is playing well, Lonzo doesn't have the Rosen anymore, so he's also playing better. You might not be able to swing those deals, but a couple of days or a week ago, you could have done those deals.
Yeah.
Lots of deals for Derrick White.
Yep. Derrick White and Jakob Poeltl, feel good players of the day. All right. That's it, guys, for our daily fantasy quickie. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck for the rest of the week. And bye, guys.
Bye.